Okay, people? We were able to discuss what might happen in Season 8 following that frustrating season finale. I'll then go into the trailer and the date of release. Thus, be sure to stay until the very finish. Let's get started without yapping anymore. Asterisk Season 8 is about to flip everything upside down. And at the center of it all is Nakaki, calculated and finally out of moves. We've seen him dodge bullets literally from Rosaline and Alicia, twist the truth, and stay one step ahead. But let's be real, y'all. That game is over. The people he's hurt are no longer scared, they're angry, they're grieving. And Tiff, she's not going to let Alicia's death go unanswered. Nuck walked into Alicia's home that night thinking he had control, thinking he could intimidate her, maybe even silence her for good. And in a way, he did. But what he didn't count on was the ripple effect. Because Alicia's death didn't just hurt Tiff, it shook her to her core. She lost the only person who was still holding her down. And when that truth hits her, when she realizes that Nuck was the last person to see Alicia alive, everything changes. The way she looked at him at the hospital, the worry, the confusion that turns to rage the moment she starts connecting. The dots. Nuck's lies are about to crumble, and there's no sweet-talking his way out of this one. Tiff knows Alicia didn't trust him. She knows Alicia was looking into Rob's murder, and she knows Nuck was nervous about that. So what happens when she finally asks him the question? We've all been screaming, "What did you do, Nuck?" And better yet, what are you hiding? The beauty of the Chi is that it doesn't just show violence or chaos for the sake of shock, it shows consequences, and Nuck is long overdue. This man has manipulated his way into power, used Tiff's vulnerability against her, and kept himself out of reach. But you can feel it now, the walls are closing in, and Tiff isn't the only one coming. For him, Reggie is back, and while Nuck might have been the top dog in Season 7, that's not going to last. Reggie isn't here to play games. They didn't bring him back after all these seasons to let him sit on the sidelines. No, Reggie wants control, and the one thing standing in his way is Nuck. These two are on a collision course. And honestly, I don't think both of them make it out of Season 8 alive. It's more than just a turf war. It's personal now. Alicia's death, that wasn't just another body, it was a declaration. And even though Nuck might try to act calm, even though he'll probably keep lying to Tiff's face, that guilt is going to start showing. One slip, one wrong word, and Tiff will pull the trigger. You already know she's capable of it. She's lost Rob. She's lost Alicia. She's got a baby to protect. And when you push someone like that too far, when you leave them with nothing but pain and questions, you better be ready for what comes next. And let's not forget Shad and Vic. Everyone's focused on who killed Alicia, but those two are tangled in something just as messy. After dragging Alicia's body off that couch like fools, they're looking guilty as hell, even if they didn't pull the trigger. But here's where it gets tricky, Vic's alibi is rock solid. There's hospital, surveillance, street cams, everything. And even if Shad's girl won't lie for him, there's no world where the cops don't question why they moved the body instead of calling 911. It's suspicious, it's messy, and it's going to explode in their faces. But back to Nuck, because let's be clear, this isn't just another season of Cat and Mouse. This is the reckoning. He's made enemies out of everybody who once had his back, and now he's on an island, alone. Season 8 is shaping up to be the final chapter for Nuck, and from the looks of it, he won't be walking away. Tiff has been through hell, from losing Rob, to raising her son on her own, to now facing the brutal reality of Alicia's death. Her world keeps crumbling, piece by piece. And it's not just grief anymore, it's fury, it's betrayal. Because the one person she thought might actually care, the one she trusted to protect her, might be the very person responsible for tearing her life apart. That quiet storm we saw brewing in Tiff in the last season, it's about to erupt. And when it does, Nuck better pray she shows mercy, because something tells me she won't. Look at the clues. Alicia didn't just vanish. She was murdered in her own home after Tiff asked Nuck to check on her. That's not a coincidence, that's a setup. And when Tiff starts replaying everything, how Nuck looked when he came back, how fast he brushed off the visit, how he acted like nothing happened, she's going to feel that fire in her chest. That deep, gut-wrenching suspicion that the man holding her hand might be the one who pulled the trigger. And when a woman like Tiff, who's lost everything, starts asking questions, you better believe she won't stop until she gets answers. Tiff's transformation in Season 8 could be one of the most powerful arcs in the Chi yet. For too long, she's been surrounded by manipulation. She's been used, deceived, pulled into chaos that she never asked for. But losing Alicia, that's going to flip a switch. She's going to start connecting with people again, not out of love, but out of vengeance. Kesha, who's also navigating motherhood and heartbreak, might be the anchor she turns to. And if Tiff finds even one person who believes in her, one person who sees through Nuck's lies like she does, then it's over. Tiff's got nothing to lose and everything to fight for. She might start snooping, asking around, retracing Nuck's steps that day. Maybe she finds out about the tension between Alicia and Nuck. Maybe she uncovers something Nuck left behind, an overlooked message, a deleted text, a surveillance glitch, and that's when the whole house of cards starts falling. Nuck has always been careful, but arrogance is a dangerous weakness. He thought Alicia was just another threat he could silence. But he didn't count on Tiff being the one to finish what Alicia started. And let's talk about what kind of revenge this could be. Tiff's not the type to throw a punch and walk away. This is going to be slow, calculated, emotional, because this isn't just about a body on the floor, it's about betrayal that cuts so deep it changed who she is. We could see her turning cold, turning quiet, watching Nuck with that look of calm before the storm. And when she finally gets the confirmation she needs, it won't be a screaming match. It'll be a moment. One single confrontation, like a fuse that's been burning all season long. And when it reaches the end, boom, maybe she lures him in with kindness. Maybe she plays along just long enough to hear the truth slip out of his mouth. Maybe he gets sloppy, thinking she's still under his control. But we know better. Tiff's about to become the most dangerous woman in this story. And if she finds out the truth about Rob too, if she realizes that Nuck has been tied to her pain from the very beginning, then there's no redemption left. No second chances. Just a bullet and a body and silence where a monster used to be. And while all this is happening, the streets are shifting. Power is shifting. Reggie's not just watching from the sidelines. He sees what's happening with Nuck and Tiff. He sees the weakness, the cracks in the armor. And Reggie has always known how to exploit weakness. He's smart, strategic, and ruthless when he needs to be. Bringing him back into this world was no accident. He's not just another ghost from the past, he's the future. If Season 8 is the fall of Nuck, then it's also the rise of Reggie, and what better way to claim the throne than to take down the one man who's held it for too long. Reggie's already assembling his crew, building alliances in the shadows, and watching as Nuck fumbles the bag over and over again. And here's the truth, he doesn't even have to pull the trigger. He can let Tiff do the dirty work. He can let the guilt eat Nuck alive. He can let the streets turn on him, because in the end, Reggie's already won. He just has to sit back and wait for the final domino to fall. But let's not forget about Candace either. She's been quiet, observant, and I've got a feeling she's going to be standing right beside Reggie when the dust settles. She's too smart to back the wrong side. And when she sees where the real power is headed, she'll make her move. This isn't just a battle of fists or guns. This is a game of survival. And Season 8 is shaping up to be a chessboard where every piece matters. Tiff is the queen, finally waking up to the truth. Reggie is the king returning for his crown. And Nuck, he's the pawn that thought he ran the board. But pawns fall first. And when he does, the entire game changes. Asterisk, now let's shift gears to two characters who've managed to throw themselves into chaos without even pulling a And Vic, if you thought their hands were clean, think again. Because dragging Alicia's body across that room with no gloves, no caution, no plan. That wasn't just reckless, it was criminal. And while the viewers might understand their panic, the law won't. These two were trying to help, or at least that's what they'll say in court. But when you tamper with a crime scene, you don't get the luxury of explaining your emotions. You get booked, you get interrogated. And worse, you give the real killer a free pass while you take the fall. So now the question hanging in the air isn't just who killed Alicia, it's will Shad and Vic pay the price for someone else's crime? And let me tell you, the answer isn't as simple as it seems. Let's break it down. Vic drove Tiff to the hospital. That's a fact. CCTV has him on camera. He's got a timestamp, a location, a reason for not being near the crime scene. He's the one most likely to walk free. But Shad, his situation is messy. He was already in the apartment. He found Alicia's body. He panicked and called Vic instead of the cops. That alone is enough to raise red flags. And if the police find out he touched anything, or worse, moved her body before calling 911, that screams guilt heaven if he didn't kill her. Now, imagine being in Shad's shoes. You walk in, find someone you care about, shot, blood everywhere, and instead of doing the right thing, you try to clean up the mess. What does that tell the cops? That maybe you had something to hide. That Maybe you weren't surprised to find her like that, and in a world like the Chi, perception is everything. And don't forget what one fan theory pointed out. What if the elevator malfunction at the hospital affected the surveillance? What if that same glitch erased the proof Vic was banking on to clear his name? Suddenly, the alibi becomes shaky. Suddenly, two men with potential motives, however weak, are caught at the center of a storm. And if Nuck decides to flip the story, if he throws him under the bus to save his own skin, that would be peak Nuck. Because we all know he's not loyal, he's a survivor. And survivors lie when they feel the walls closing in. He could easily say that Shad had beef with Alicia, that Vic was acting shady, that he had no idea Alicia was even in danger. And if the cops buy it, boom. Now we're looking at two more brothers caught in the system, and the actual villain walking free again. But here's the twist. I don't think Shad and Vic stay in jail long. No. I think Season 8 is going to show us how fast things spiral before they come back stronger. Maybe there's a courtroom scene. Maybe Tiff steps in, gives a statement. Maybe someone leaks info about Nuck being the last one at Alicia's place. There are ways out, but it's going to cost them. Their reputations, their trust. Maybe even their freedom, at least for a while. And when they come back into the story, they're not going to be the same. Shad will carry guilt not just for Alicia's death, but for being too weak to do the right thing. And Vic, he'll be cold, detached, ready for payback. Because nothing hardens a man like being blamed for something he didn't do. And both of them will have questions, real ones, about who set them up, about who benefits from Alicia being gone. And you know where that trail leads. Right back to nuck.end. Let's not overlook the emotional weight of this arc. The Chi doesn't just tell stories, it tells truths. And the truth is, black men are constantly caught in systems designed to crush them. Even when they mean well, even when they panic, even when they're innocent. Vic and Shad's journey this season could shine a harsh light on how easy it is to be seen as a suspect instead of a victim. And if the writers go that route, if they use this moment to make a statement, it could be one of the most powerful parts of the entire season. These two are going to suffer. They're going to be tested. But if they survive it, they're coming back with purpose. And that purpose is going to drive them straight into the war that's brewing in the streets. Because make no mistake, this isn't just about personal drama anymore. The death of Alicia, the fallout from that night, it's starting a chain reaction that's about to split the South Side in two. On one side, there's Nuck, scrambling to hold on to power, lying to everyone, burning every bridge. And on the other side, there's Reggie, building a new empire, smarter and more focused than ever, and caught in the middle. Tiff, Shad, Vic. People who didn't ask for this war but are now forced to pick a side. And once those lines are drawn, once the smoke starts rising, there's no turning back. Lives will be lost, loyalty will be tested, and every secret will come to light. If Season 8 belongs to anyone, it's Reggie. Because while Nuck is out here scrambling, covering his tracks, lying to Tiff, turning allies into enemies, Reggie is moving in silence, watching, waiting, and planning his return like a king coming back for his crown. And you can feel it. Every episode is going to build toward this collision course between these two men. But here's the catch. This ain't a fair fight. Canuck's foundation is crumbling. His lies are catching up. And the respect he once had, it's fading fast. Meanwhile, Reggie's not just stronger, he's smarter. He's calculated. He's been burned before, and he's not making the same mistakes. What we're looking at is a power shift in real time. A changing of the guard. The streets are talking, and they're not chanting Nuck's name anymore. Reggie's return is more than just a nostalgic callback. It's a warning. This is a man who's lost everything, then clawed his way back up with a vengeance. He's not here to make friends. He's not here to rebuild old bonds. He's here to take over. And if anyone doubts that, just wait till he starts making moves. He doesn't need to throw hands to prove he's in charge. He'll let the right people do that for him. The real power lies in loyalty, and Reggie knows exactly how to earn it. With every mistake Nuck makes, every lie to Tiff, every misstep with the cops, every time he underestimates someone, Reggie gets stronger. And this time, he's not working alone. Word on the street is that new faces are coming into the game. Hungry, smart, ruthless players who don't care about Nuck's history. They want results. They want structure. And Reggie, he's the only one offering that now. And don't be surprised if Candace switches sides. She's been quiet, too quiet, but people like her don't stay on sinking ships. She's observant, she's strategic, and she's no fool. When the tides turn and they will, she'll be right there next to Reggie, ready to back a leader who actually knows what he's doing. Together, they could be unstoppable. Think Rosaline and Duda 2.0, but even colder. Even smarter. Because unlike Nuck, Reggie doesn't act out of impulse. He studies his enemy. He watches how they fall apart piece by piece, then takes their spot without lifting a finger. And what makes it so dangerous is that Nuck won't even see it coming. He's too busy playing defense, too busy scrambling to keep Tiff close, to keep the cops off his back, to keep his name clean. But Reggie, he's already 3 steps ahead. And what's wild is that Nuck might not even realize how close he is to his own end. That's what pride does, it blinds you. Nuck thinks he's untouchable because he's gotten away with so much for so long. But that confidence, it's a weakness now. It's why he didn't take Alicia seriously. It's why he underestimated Tiff. It's why he never considered that Reggie was more than just a memory. He's been so focused on controlling every emotions, his crew's loyalty, even the narrative around Alicia's death, that he's missed the bigger picture. And now, it's too late. His allies are slipping through his fingers, his enemies are multiplying, and the weight of all his sins is finally catching up. That moment where everything comes crashing down. It's not just coming, it's inevitable. Real genius of Season 8 is how layered this downfall is. It's not going to be one big explosion. It's going to be slow, painful, and unavoidable. One lie exposed. One betrayal revealed. One body too many. And Reggie will be there for all of it. He doesn't have to kill Nuck. He just has to outlast him. And the truth is, Nuck's already dying a slow death. His reputation, his influence, his ability to control the game, all of it is slipping. And when Tiff finally turns on him, when Shad and Vic walk free and start asking the right questions, when the streets stop fearing him, Nuck will have nothing left. No crew, no girl, no power, just the ghosts of the people. He betrayed Dot and Reggie. He'll be standing at the top, not because he's perfect, but because he played the long game. And this time, he's not here to share. He's not here for a partnership. He's taking over. Completely. And with people like Candace at his side, and maybe even Shad and Vic finding common ground with him after what they've been through, Reggie's new empire could be even more ruthless than the last. He knows what it costs to survive in this world. He knows what loyalty really means. And most importantly, he knows Nuck better than anyone. That's why he's dangerous. That's why he'll win. Because he doesn't have to guess what Nuck's next move is, he already knows. And now, he's just waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Asterisk, now everything's falling apart. And no one is safe. Not Emmett, not Kesha, not even Papa. As we close in on what could be the most dangerous chapter in Kai's history, the emotional weight is about to crush everyone. Emmett is holding secrets so heavy that he can't breathe anymore. And with Darnell giving him that cold advice about survival, you already know this boy is about to make a choice he can't undo. And Kesha, she's watching the man she loves slide further into the dark, questioning not just his actions, but who he's becoming. We always knew Kesha had strength, but she's tired. She's been through hell and back. And now she's raising a baby while watching her partner risk everything with men like Nuck. That pain, that internal conflict, it's about to explode. And when it does, it's not going to be pretty. You think Keisha's going to sit back while her son's father spirals into the abyss? No way. She's either going to fight for him or fight against him. And either choice will break her heart. Then there's Papa, Lord Papa. This boy started the series with jokes and joy, but now he's carrying grief like a weight that won't lift. The death of his father changed him. It shook his belief system and broke something in him that may never be repaired. He's not just grieving the man, he's grieving the innocence, the hope, the light that once defined him. And now, he's moving differently. He's not the same smiling church kid anymore. He's watching everything and everyone with new eyes. And if you think Papa is not about to snap or at least explode emotionally, you haven't been paying attention. The chi doesn't give anyone space to breathe. Every time someone tries to heal, this city hits harder. And Papa, he might just reach a breaking point. He might go full-on truth teller and start exposing things no one's ready for. Or worse, he might disappear into that anger, that pain, and take a path we never saw coming. Meanwhile, Dowda's grip is weakening, but he's still got venom. He's a wounded lion right now, and that's when he's most dangerous. He knows his enemies are circling. He knows Nuck messed up. He knows Tiff can't be trusted. And the minute he starts bleeding power, you better believe he's going to come out swinging. The question is, who's going to be standing when the smoke clears? Because Dowda is the kind of man who would rather burn the whole thing down than let someone else take his throne. And what's wild is, he's not even the worst threat anymore. The streets are shifting, new enemies are moving in, the lines are blurring, and the IHT, It's no longer about territory. It's about survival. The kids are grown now. The games are over. This ain't about love triangles or petty beefs anymore. It's life or death. It's who's got your back when everything's crumbling. And even then, trust is thin. Jada and Darnell are in their own world, but the generational wounds are bleeding into this new generation. What happens when your parents' choices start shaping your reality? What happens when you realize the people you trusted to protect you are the same ones who put you in danger? Season 8 is more than a continuation. It's a reckoning. Everyone has a secret. Everyone is facing the consequences of their choices. And by the time the finale rolls around, don't be surprised if someone major doesn't make it out alive. This is the Chi like we've never seen. Itra, dangerous, heartbreaking. The city that raised them might also destroy them. And the ones who survive, they won't be the same. So buckle up, because if you thought Season 7 was wild, Season 8 is about to flip the whole board. And when Nuck finally runs out of time, when the last betrayal hits, when the final gunshot rings out, only the truth will remain. And in the Chi, the truth, it never comes easy.